What's up, y'all? So I need to put this other nozzle in. So you're looking at this fucking conglomeration of madness in here, and you're like, what the fuck is all this? Well, this is a fucking BHF motor. 4.2 liter V8, yes, the timing chain kind. Everyone's like, oh no, it's a timing chain motor, it burns oil, fucking throws chains, fucking cam adjusters go wazoo, and all this other crazy shit. Well, you fucking address that shit with the right parts, you'll be fine. And this one's built. So I got about 4,000 miles on it. And yeah, I'd say about 4,000 miles on it. I did the first 300 on turbo, broke it in, and then drove up and down the East Coast to keep fucking breaking it in. Visit family and shit before I shipped it here to Germany. Here we are in Germany. Deutschland. D for Deutschland. Anyway, so back to this shit. So here we are in this madness. And I need to adjust a couple things. I need to zip tie this or something. Anyway, so yeah, it's built. I'm sure most of y'all have seen my thread. If not, I can link you to it, or I'll just put it in the description. But yeah, so long and short, there's a fucking rear mount turbo. It's sitting in the back underneath the passenger side. Borg-Warner S369 SXE billet 69mm wheel. Custom water air intercooler that I built myself. It ain't perfect, but it fucking does well. It's the Bell intercooler core I used there. It holds roughly a gallon of fluid because I have no external reservoir. It's just a really big heat exchanger that covers this whole section right here. Barely fits, pushes on the bumper, all sorts of shit. This barely fits, pushes on the hood, all sorts of shit. Barely fits, pushes on the headlight also slightly. Whatever. It's a fucking race car, right? So, there's that. 9.5 to 1 compression, down from 11 to 1. Forged rods, forged pistons, no sleeves. Supertech valve train, stock cams. Intake manifold is pretty much stock. I did the flapper mod using Lexan plastic in there, and then I laid a layer of silicone over it to have it sealed when it closes. JHM did it years ago. Credit to them. I guess consistently they're seeing 10 to 15 wheel horsepower increase from the flapper mod. Did it do it? I don't know. I didn't dyno test mine before and after, so can't really tell you. But what you got all here is direct port injection, and that's what we're here for today. Direct port injection, supplied by usually Sideways Rally Team. All the components. It's using proprietary nozzles. Pretty small. If you go on our website, you'll see the options we have for direct port: 30cc and 45cc's. That's usrallyteam.com. So I got the direct part hooked up, but what I haven't hooked up yet is the other nozzle, which will go over here. So right now I got a check T, which you can see right here. The solenoid, which will activate under boost. That's what this guy is. A little crude, the whole setup. I could have been nicer, but whatever. Kind of half-assing a little bit there. Don't fucking judge me, damn it. This is my MAF wiring. There, before you fucking ask, there is no male version connector. I would have to bastardize a mass airflow housing to try and make that work. And I guess I'll get to it one day. Right now, I'm just kind of like, whatever. It works. I've had no issues with it. It stays zip tied here, so it can't fucking move anywhere. It's fine. I also tied into it and rewired, added on an external 1.8T IAT sensor, which is back here. So anyway, back to the water map. So yeah, this guy is a check T. So this nozzle will come, this water hose will come out and go into the nozzle, which will sit right here. So that will aid in my air cooling. I do have fucking 15 feet of piping. This 2.5-inch pipe that goes behind the motor all the way to the back of the car. I could put a nozzle back there, and I probably will here soon, to help the intercooler not have to work as hard. But so far, what I've seen is the intercooler does fairly decent. There's heat reflective tape down here to kind of keep the manifold heat from heat soaking this guy. And then on top of that, the exhaust manifold is ceramic coated by Jet Hot. The good shit. Not the cheap color version, but the actual rough textured ceramic. So it's good to like 2,000 degrees or something. It does do pretty well because it's pretty tight down there, and it's probably within like 2 inches or so from the exhaust manifold, like at closest. But one thing you got to realize is that exhaust manifold is actually like dual layered. It in itself, the runners are internal, but then it has a external stainless shell, so it provides an air insulation in between the actual runners and the exterior. So there's that, and then the ceramic coating. So it does pretty well. It doesn't get, the engine bay temps really do not get that hot. I'll have to record it one day and see how hot it actually gets. What else? Okay, I got the European fuel row return system. Boom, there you go. 4-bar regulator. Cool. This whole doohickey here, factory PCV with a check valve, and then off the factory PCV underneath the intake manifold, it splits to a Y. It goes to one vent here and one vent here. Both of them have a check valve. All right. So what does that mean? Under boost, this one closes. All the PCV gases have to go out these vents. Under vacuum, aka cruise and idle, that one opens. These ones close. Boom and boom. There's the other one right there. That one closes and this one closes. And then it goes through the catch can. So the catch can, does the job. It's 42 draft design stealth catch can. It's not very stealth because it's silver, but maybe I'll paint it one day. I kind of like the silver. It kind of offsets all the darkness in here. Oil rag. Yeah. Check your oil regularly. The new motor does pretty good. Last I checked, at like 3,500 miles, it took like an eighth of a quart in 1,000 miles. So do the math, 8,000 miles to burn a quart of oil. I'd say it does pretty good. I'm going to continue monitoring it, obviously, as the miles rack up, to see if I have any other issues. Granted, all that mileage was NA. Now that you're boosted, crankcase pressure increases. What else? Crankcase pressure increases. The fact that the turbo's in the back, I need to build a little, kind of like a reservoir, vented reservoir for underneath the turbo for the turbo return. So when I turn the car off, the residual pressure in the line, the feed line, doesn't back up. That results in a little bit of oil, like on startup, a little bit of oil coming out the tailpipe. And also it means that some oil gets into the boost piping. Not a big deal, but it's just a nuisance, really. So I need to monitor oil consumption. I go that way. Hoses for fucking blow-off valve, or the diverter valve. Hoses for my boost hop switch. Yeah, it's kind of it in a nutshell. Today we're going to add that nozzle. I think I'm done talking for right now. Yep. Alright, welcome back to my ghetto garage. So, took the pipe off. I built up a bunch of weld around. Just a point where I was going to tap. That way I'm not tapping this thin ass 16 gauge pipe, which is fine. I used the goop on it. It's worked fine. But I felt like going an extra mile today because I have a welder and I can't. So, yeah. Welded that shit. Cool. Tapped it. For the record, the closest drill bit size you can get regularly, like in a Lowe's and shit, 11/32, is pretty damn close to what you need for 1/8 MPT. If you're in a situation where you can't use your regular tap handle, I recommend getting one of these guys to at least get it started, and then once it's good, put a fucking socket wrench on there and get some torque. So, it's tapped. Where did I put it? Oh yeah, there we go. So I got the good old fashioned snow check valve, sorry, check valve and nozzle. This is a 225cc nozzle. It is a number 4. I don't know if you can see that. Number 4. It'll go in there with some goop. Goop E6000. You know what's funny? I was reading up on this shit. It's not exactly heat rated, but honestly, I've never had an issue with it. So that's what came in the original snow kits. That's what I use. Works fine for me. Send it. I thought this was interesting. By pure chance, I added enough weld that when it threads in, it's flush. Dope. Okay, we're back. So, pipes on. There's the nozzle. Ooh, a little bit of goop. Gotta put the clamp, tighten the clamp on. It goes around into my check T distribution block. Gizmo. That's it. Done. So now, under boost, well first at, I think I have it set at like 5 psi, this nozzle will start spraying. Then, up to full boost, 12 pounds, then the solenoid will activate, which will activate the direct port. Works out well. Should be fun. See what the logs say, right?